발생했습니다.
Train to Busan is a 2016 horror film out of South Korea, and it tells the story of a father and his young daughter and other passengers who become trapped on a speeding train during a zombie outbreak. I mean, where do you even start with this movie? Best way to start, but to describe this movie is, holy shit, what did I just watch? This movie is absolutely fantastic. I heard a lot of people talking for last few years, like, oh, you gotta see Train to Busan, you gotta see Train to Busan. It's like, yeah, I'll get to it. I know the zombie genre, you know, I'll get around to it. This movie is absolutely fantastic. This movie succeeds across the board. It's different than a lot of other zombie movies I've seen. I've never seen a zombie movie be a zombie movie that does such a great job of intertwining horror, like horror zombie action, with very emotional drama. This movie does a fantastic job of intertwining the two. I was drawn into this movie right away. I mean, it was just very interesting right from the get-go. From the opening scene, which is absolutely fantastic, there's a scene of a man driving along and he hits a deer. He gets out, checks on it, sees the deer's dead, gets in his car and drives away. And then you get this scene. And that's the way that the movie opens. I mean, what a fantastic way to start a zombie film. I mean, it was absolutely brilliant. What I really liked about this movie is leading up, before like there's a full-on zombie attack, this movie does a great job of adding small little things into the movie that you know are gonna be a major, I don't even know how to describe it. It's going to be some major conflict later in the film. To try to explain what I'm talking about, like, for example, you know it's going to be a zombie movie. So, first of all, you have this father with his little daughter, which is going to create drama and conflict and probably just some heart-crushing scenes later on. And, like, there's another couple on there, like a young couple, who you can tell are just starting to date. And so you can tell that there's probably going to be some sort of drama and tension and conflict with that couple. You know, when you intertwine zombies with a young couple, they're newly in love, it's probably not going to end well. And then there's like a third couple on there too. It's like a husband and wife. And of course the wife is like 9 months pregnant. It's like, you know, of course she's 9 months pregnant in a zombie film. I mean, you just know that later that that's going to cause some sort of problems. And this film does a great job of just putting these small little subtle things and these different characters on this train before anything even happens that you know later on is going to be a problem. And it does a great job of doing that. I also really like the fact that the zombies were fast zombies. I mean, you have this speeding train, you're in a confined area, and of course the zombies are going to be fast. Why wouldn't they be? You know, it just makes for much more intense scenes when you have these people trying to get away, going from car to car, trying to outrun fast zombies. I mean, this movie is just action-packed. It just grabs you by the balls and does not let go. It's just action, 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 mixed well with other drama and other great stuff too. But the action, the other thing about this movie too is, like, throughout the whole thing, or not throughout the whole thing, but during a good part of it, I was kind of like, oh man, I really want to go get something to drink. There was never really a good spot to stop, because you were so engrossed in what was going on. It was very difficult to find a good spot to stop to go get something to drink or use the restroom or whatever it may be. And that's a sign of a good movie, when you're so invested that you can't even find a place where you want to stop the film. And that's always a plus in my book. I really like the fact that this took place on a train. Just normal people going throughout their day. And a zombie outbreak happens. And of course, none of them really have, guns or really any kind of weapons. So this movie was a lot of fun to watch the unique ways in which they're trying to fight off zombies without any kind of weapons, or how they're trying to transfer from car to car to car to try to get away and close these zombies off. This movie really came up with some really unique, inventive ways of people escaping these zombies. Like, for example, there's a scene where they realize that the zombies, they only go after people that they can see. So, like, there's scenes where the train's going along and they're going underneath tunnels. They're going in tunnels. And the train goes, pretty dark. The zombies can't see them. So they're coming up with these inventive ways to use that to their advantage. For example, like, there's a part where they know that they have like a 2-minute scene, and they got to get a bunch of people from one cart past this zombie cart to another car in front of that. And they use the fact that the zombies aren't going to be able to see them for like 2 minutes to their advantage. So they go through the tunnel, and they got people escaping, like going over the zombies, going across like the luggage racks, like climbing across and down and out. It's very, very interesting, the different concepts they came up with, these normal everyday people in this horrible situation to try to get out of it. It's done extremely well. One of my all-time favorite scenes in this movie is, there's a scene, I believe fairly early on in the movie, where they realize that this outbreak has just happened, and they're coming up to this train station, and for some reason I think they believe like it's safe there or whatever. So the train stops and they get off, and they soon realize that it is not, and it turns into one of the most intense zombie chase scenes I've seen on film in a long time. It's beautifully done. It's just non-stop. It was absolutely great to watch all the unique ways, not only on the train, but also in this station, of how they're trying to escape. This movie definitely did not skip on the creativity. Whoever was in charge of coming up with those different ideas was absolutely brilliant. It was such a blast to watch. I mentioned this before, but one of the things about this movie that was just absolutely great was the way that it tied horror in with very emotional, dramatic scenes. I mean, there are some scenes in here that are just pull on your heartstrings and are just heartbreaking to watch, especially between the father and his daughter. And I give props to that young girl. I can't remember what the actress's name was, but she's very young. She was excellent in this. Oh man, there's a scene towards the end where it's hard to watch. I mean, she just pulls it out and nails it to a T. She was absolutely fantastic. She was 100% believable. But that's what I really liked about this movie. I mean, you go in here, you're not going to get an average, standard, regular, just straight up action horror zombie film. There is just as much action and horror and zombies as, let me rephrase that. There's just as much drama and emotion as there is horror and zombies and all of that stuff, and it just ties it together absolutely beautifully, mixed in with just heart-pounding tension and action. This movie is tense the entire time. You always just feel kind of like on the edge of your seat the whole time, up until the very end, up until the very last scene. This movie is tense. And it is just beautifully, beautifully done. One of the best zombie movies I've seen in a long time. And I would 100% recommend it to anybody. I mean, even people that aren't that big into zombie movies, I think would even enjoy this, because there's so much more than just a zombie movie to watch. This movie works on multiple levels. It's absolutely fantastic. I highly recommend it to anyone. I think even, like I said, even if you don't like that type of genre, I think you'd probably get some enjoyment out of this film. It's absolutely excellent. Out of a possible 5 jack-o'-lanterns, I give this 5. Thank you very much, you guys, for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. Lets me know how you guys like what I'm doing. Like, subscribe, share, comment, all that fun stuff. Halloween is very, very close. I'm going to try to get, I think, 3 more videos out, all done by the same director. I think that's how I'm going to try to finish this. I'm going to try to get 3 more out before Halloween. So it's kind of hard with a full-time job and doing this, but I'm going to do my best to get all 3 of those out for you guys. And once again, I really appreciate you watching. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.